Ketamine was a pretty unique experience. Though it had a PCP-like feel to it, I never have entered such a completely altered state on PCP. It was certainly nothing like codeine, but I've never done huge amounts of codeine. About 5 minutes after taking an intramuscular injection of about 0.75 cc, I entered a state that was similar to being in a lucid dream. Although I was still conscious of my surroundings, I had no control over my body, not that it mattered. The experience was visual in the sense that I could see my thoughts. Except that the seeing was at a more fundamental level than the 2 to 3 dimensional imagery normally associated with eyesight. I could still hear the ambient music in the room, though it seemed to be in another world. At one point I decided I wanted to say something. The process of uttering the word, cool, involved a seemingly involved process of building up, through different layers of conscious activity, the mental, and I suppose physical, steps required for such an effort. I watched, as the fundamental sparks of my mind came together and bubbled up to a surface level of consciousness where the simple act was finally executed. It was as though I was experiencing the fundamental workings of my mind from both a participant and observer viewpoint. I think the anesthetic qualities of the drug kept the mental noise level way down, and perhaps slowed all my thought processes down also, making this possible. At no time did I experience any anxiety or negative feelings. Mostly fascination. No aliens either, but I can see how one could mistaken the redirected experience of one's own thoughts as a visit from something external. I've never met aliens on DMT either, so why MMV? This altered state was somewhat similar to nodding out on heroin, which was also a bit like lucid dreaming, but different than ketamine in that it is clouded by feelings of overwhelming sensuality, pleasure. The ketamine experience was cleaner, in that my mind seemed freer to explore itself and not as weighted down by feeling too good. I guess I should mention that I was in the afterglow of some very pure MDMA, and possible a little LSD, I can't quite remember, when I did this, so my experience cannot be considered to be a controlled experiment. By the way, doing a small amount of K, where you maintain motor control, is not much more astounding than PCP, or I suppose codeine, etc. It is the full incapacitating dose that is truly amazing. But this is not something you want to do on a regular basis. In fact, though I may be wrong on this, I would consider such an adventure to be a high-risk one. Please be careful.